What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Q&A. Today I'll be answering your questions, as always. Now, today I'll be monologuing a lot. I'll be talking about this and that, several topics. You know, I have a lot of things planned. But no, I know you don't want any of that. I know that, so I'm not gonna do that. What I'm gonna do is answer your questions. Why do you feel that you need to ask me questions? Why can't we just like hang out? Why can't you just listen to me monologuing and shit? Just talking and talking and talking. Isn't that the point of the Q&As? To come and hear me talk about whatever and rant and be angry about this and that? Man. We're gonna chill today. Oh, it's a request stream, request your song stream. I started earlier today because I'm gonna have to leave earlier than usual. But didn't have time to create a playlist. I was playing fucking Fire Emblem Vision Quest all morning. It's a hack. Great hack. I've been loving it so far. So anyway, today is gonna be a request your song stream. And we already got the first song, A Formidable Enemy. If you will be so kind to tell me which game that song is from, I could play it for you, no problem. Cutscenes in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 or 3 are too long? Yes, they are. It's got one heck of a story though. Too bad it was like slightly altered for modern audiences because Nintendo of America makes games for snowflakes and not for gamers. What's up, Tyson? Who's your favorite video game character? My favorite video game character is probably Harley from Chrono Cross. From Chrono Cross. Chrono Cross, Harley from Chrono Cross, she's my favorite video game character, probably. Lenneth Valkyrie from Valkyrie Profile, she's a close second. Aegis from Persona 3. Anyway, that would probably be my top 3, you know. Hey, what's up, Ryan? So, Josh wants Formidable Enemy, but I don't know what game is that from, you know. I have no idea. Did I vote for Harris or Trump? Wow, Mike. In case you didn't know, I'm Mexican and I live in Mexico. Yeah, I can't vote in the USA, bro. Oh, I'm so ready for that, Tyson. Very ready. I know nothing about it, though. I'm ready to ignore all questions about that game because I don't know anything about it. Yes, Matt, I'm Mexican. I live in Mexico. What a shocker, right? Nobody knew. Big revelation to my 30 people watching right now. Big revelation. You're special because I'm revealing my country of origin. I'm Mexican. I live in Mexico. Yeah. Wow. It's a request your song stream today, guys. Didn't have time to create a playlist. Let me know. In the meantime, while somebody chooses a song, I'll just put one from Shining Blade, which I recently reviewed. Which one was the final boss? Oh, this one. This is final boss theme. I know, right? Thank you, Joseph. I know, Ryan, let him. It's inevitable. I've learned in my several years of going live. I'm used to it. With no questions about Lunar? Nobody gives a fuck about Lunar. Why? No questions about the Lunar remasters? How dare you? So, Abdiel theme from Shin Megami Tensei 5. You got it, man. That's coming right next to... blah, blah, blah. Coming right up. Abdiel theme, SMT5. Man, I still want to do that. Top 50 final boss themes. But I will get like 1,000,000 copyright claims. A lot of boss themes have copyright. Damn it. Not this one. This one's fine, you know. A lot of bangers that are going to be in that video, will be in that video, don't have any copyright, but some of the classic ones, some of those songs that people are gonna be in the comments, you know, like, where's this song? Well, it has copyright, man. What can I do? Well, some of the best have copyright, so like Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy fucking 7's final boss theme has to be there in the top, right? But it can't be there because, you know how it is. So, Abdiel theme from, okay, there we go. It's by Next Stone. It's probably gonna have copyright, but whatever. Hopefully not. So you just finished Final Fantasy IX last week and immediately went to my spoiler podcast episode. Everybody seems to believe... Nobody watches my podcast. Oh, thank you very much, Khalid. Thanks a bunch, buddy. What's happening here? Okay. Wait a second, Khalid. I want to answer that. I think a lot of people don't listen to my podcast because they're afraid of spoilers, but they don't know that the spoilers are until the very end, and I always give like a heads up. You know, always like, hey, you know, so like my podcast lasts for like an hour, right? Like an hour and a half, right? And the first like 50 minutes is completely spoiler free. You know, anybody can listen to it and not get spoiled. It's fine, you know. And whenever I'm about to enter spoilers, I'll let you know. So, hey, this is a spoiler section, so if you haven't finished the game or you don't want to get spoiled, bye-bye. Thanks for listening, you know. So, hopefully you guys will give my podcast a chance. I know it's just a podcast, you know, it's just me talking completely unscripted, you know, reviewing games that I've played in the past, some of my favorites, you know. I was never expecting a lot of views, but, you know, it could help if you could listen to it more often. So thank you for listening to my podcast. I hope you enjoy the podcast, Kevin. So Khalid says, I hope you're doing great. Thanks, man, you too. I know it's late, but congratulations on your 100,000 subscribers. Yeah, that was like a year ago. Very late, but thanks. Hope you reach 1 million subs. In a world where politics don't control YouTube, that might be possible. I need my candy because I can't speak today. That was a big donation, Khalid. Thanks a lot, man. So, late stream? What do you mean late stream? It's more like early stream. I started earlier and I'm gonna have to leave earlier. Wait, so somebody was asking about... I don't know how Atlus is about copyright. Yeah, they're pretty harsh with Persona music. SMT5, I've used a lot of the songs from the game and in videos as background music, and I don't seem to get any copyrights, but it's the same company that owns the rights, Nextone. I mean, more like Nextone is a company that Atlus hired. Square Enix hired them too, you know, to send copyright claims to YouTubers. I've talked to Nextone, you know, I fought in the past with them, against them, you know. Well, it wasn't a fight. It was more like an exchange of emails asking them to remove some copyright claims from some videos I thought were like unfair, you know, and they removed them. Others they had to leave. They're pretty reasonable. Next tone, you know. They're like, hey, in this case we can't remove the copyright, but in this case, okay, you're right. You know, you have a point. So yeah, cool people, man. Unlike other companies, remember Victor? Do you like the Saga franchise? I'm not a big fan, you know. I played some. My favorite is Romancing Saga on the PlayStation 2. I beaten that. Saga Scarlet Grace. I just covered the game. I never finished that. That was cool. That was a cool game, but I wouldn't call myself a Saga fan. You know, I'm not really a fan. Probably the reason why you don't see me talking about them often or reviewing or caring about any new releases or remakes or remasters, you know. Okay, somebody wants... Chubby-san wants Evil Messenger from Final Fantasy IX. Okay, that's gonna be next. You request me channel music? Seriously? You want that? Tell me which song. Do you have a name? Vita? Vita Max. Anthony! I finally reviewed Shining Blade. Did you see that? You were asking for months about the Shining games on PSP. Now I beat one and I reviewed it. How do you feel about the Switch 2 prices? Luca, I already talked about that last Sunday. I'm kind of indifferent, you know. It's just Nintendo being Nintendo. Do you mostly play games from Steam or consoles? Consoles and computer, laptop emulation. Nowadays I play mostly on emulation. Ever since I got this new computer, this new laptop, I've touched some of my consoles, but like once or twice, you know. I'm mostly emulating stuff nowadays. I will get to Steam soon, don't worry, very soon. If I were to ask Google Gemini to create a strategy RPG idea inspired by one of your books, what will it be? You can ask Google Gemini that? I don't know, why don't you do that? Do that and let us know what the results were. I don't think Google Gemini knows about my books. That's fucking crazy. So Final Kuja, right? What was the name of the song? Oh, Dark Messenger? Evil, okay, Dark Messenger. Right. Dark Messenger. Oh, trans Kuja theme. Alright, so here we go. I'm gonna have to choose well, this isn't the best quality, but that will probably avoid a copyright claim. Are you gonna buy Switch 2 on launch date? No, I've never bought a single video game system on launch date. I don't really care. If there was one character you wish would be more fleshed out, who would it be? For me, it's Amaranth. Because aside of the I do my best work alone personality, he just exists. Oh, you mean from Final Fantasy IX? I agree with you. Amaranth needed more character development. So did Freya. My pick would be Freya. I wish he could have been more fleshed out. You know, because the entirety of Final Fantasy IX, it's mostly about its four main characters. Zidane, Garnet, Vivi, and maybe Steiner, you know. But the rest are kind of like just there, you know. They do get some development, but not enough. So Freya and Amaranth will be my pick too. Especially Freya. She's one of my favorite characters. She is my favorite character in Final Fantasy IX. 2-minute long Nintendo Wii Me channel. That's just how it's called? Okay, I'll look it up after this. My Chained Echoes question. No, I didn't. Rest in peace, your grandma. Sean. My grandma is 95 years old. 95 years old. I'll be seeing her today. Later today. So I feel you. I know what it's like to have a grandma that old. And my grandma also comes from a time where people still used horses. I mean, cars were already there, you know. She was born in 1930, you know. You thought it's the Undertaker entrance theme? What are you talking about? Oh, you mean Gemini? Google Gemini probably knows my books. Meta got caught pirating massive amounts of stuff to train their AI. I don't think they used my books. For some reason, I can guarantee you it did. Hey, don't. That's right, Kevin. I talked about that in the podcast. I think I remember saying the exact same thing about Freya. Shining Arc is supposed to be the sequel to Shining Blade, but it's like, from what I read, it's very standalone. I'm not gonna play it right now. I have other priorities, you know, that I want to get into, but I'll get into Shining Arc eventually. What's my most recent underrated game? Underrated? Can it be something obscure? Or strictly something people know, famous, but it didn't get the best reviews? Which one? Is the theme You're Not Alone from Final Fantasy IX copyrighted? I don't think so. Even if it does, whatever, you know. Some songs are fine even if they have copyright. Others, like Persona music, don't ask anything from Persona or opening themes or intro themes. Those get me into trouble, but for Final Fantasy IX, I'm gonna get just a claim or whatever. Somebody asked something like a Me, okay, Vitamax. Nintendo Wii Me channel, fine. Here's the theme. Me channel theme. There's a video that says 10 hours. 10 hours of Wii theme music, and it's got 32 million views. What the hell is wrong with people, man? 32 hours of 32 million views of 10 hours of Wii theme music. What the fuck? 32 million views? Jesus, I'm just gonna play this one. 32 million, like, Jesus. Here's your Wii Me theme, whatever. There you go, man. And then we'll do You're Not Alone. Is your book on Google Books? Nope. They're not. None of my books are on Google Books. All of them are on Amazon. What's the cheapest Nintendo Switch you can buy in your area? The cheapest Nintendo Switch game or console? I'm assuming it's console. I already have a Switch though, as you already know. The cheapest Switch, we probably go from, I think, $200, around that. Maybe if you're lucky you can get one for $150, but I doubt it. It's gonna have like, oh, it's $150, but it's missing the controller, you know, in a pawn shop or something, you know. Thank you, Vitamax. Thank you very much. Yeah, Switch, I mean, a regular vanilla Nintendo Switch here, just the console, cables, and the controller, the dog bone, probably sells here for about $200 US dollars, $200 US dollars, the equivalent of 200, you know. Yeah, you can, around that, you know. People sleep to that theme. I use a white noise machine. I can't sleep to music because I don't know, probably because I'm a musician. I studied music. I have music ears. and I pay attention no matter what. You can play me the most boring fucking song ever, and I won't be able to sleep because I'll be paying attention to it. I can't sleep on music, but I use a white noise machine. White noise machine. Your review with the talking dragon was really funny. Where did you get the idea from? I literally just look. The dragon has a very charming story. Is the song over? Oh yeah. Wait, you're not alone, right? There we go. I remember this theme. It's amazing. I love it. There we go. So the thing about the little dragon, where is that little fucker? Well, it's right there. I don't think you can see it though. The thing about the dragon is that, well, I don't think I'm ready to tell the story on how I got the dragon because it's very emotional. But just real quickly, my mother gave it to me when she was like really sick and almost dying. Thankfully, as you may already know, she didn't die, but she almost died. And it's something she had gotten like a weekend before she got sick, and she forgot to give it to me. She wanted to give it to me just because I like fantasy and anime, stuff like that. So she thought a dragon would be like something silly to give me, But then she forgot to give it to me, and then she got really sick, and in the hospital she gave it to me. So it was really heartwarming. I don't want to get into that because it's really emotional, but why I started, I introduced the dragon. I remember I did a PS collection video. Not a lot of people watched the video because it was just bare bones. It was just me shooting those two shelves, that you see right there. I think it's got like 4,000 or 5,000 views. That's okay. It's there if you want to watch it. But that was the first video where I showed the dragon, and I made a joke with the dragon, but he didn't talk. So that got me thinking, when I made that video, that was like a year ago, that video. So when I made that video, I kept thinking, this dragon, it just clicked with me, to maybe one day do a joke or have a talking character in my videos. I don't know. So then I started making the reviews this year, because I told you last weekend in the last Q&A that I wanted to do like reviews of all the JRPGs that I've played, just so I can have the link and add them to my blog. I'm gonna post my blog right now. Eventually, this blog is gonna be like more active, because right now, like almost the entire focus is on the scores. But later, I'll post more often, So here's the blog. Click in there and you'll see a lot of there's like over 500 RPGs that I have scored on a scale from 5 to 10. 5 is the lowest. And I want to add a review link to all of them, but like a standalone review link. I don't want to add like a top 10, Like, if somebody wants to see my Unicorn Overlord review and they click on the link, it's gonna lead them to a top 10. No, come on. I want people to click on the link and expect to be taken to a video review of that one game they're looking for, So that's my goal. So I started making those video reviews, and I just introduced the dragon because I was like, man, it's probably gonna get me into trouble. It's probably people are gonna cringe, But at this point, I don't care. My reviews, unfortunately, are not gonna get a lot of views. They're barely gonna get views, because people just aren't used to me making reviews often. They're used to my top 10s and my live streams already. So this review stuff, I've been doing reviews for years, but most of my reviews were from like new games, right? And since I abandoned that idea, now I'm focusing on old reviews and old games reviews, retro games or PS4 Switch era and below. So I was like, what the hell? Let's just do something funny, something stupid, And I just put the dragon and I made a joke about it in the Grand Kingdom review, and I don't know, it stayed. I don't know how most people feel about it though. I've received like 2 or 3 comments, you know, saying, "Oh, I like the dragon. It's funny. Quiz, this is funny." You know. So I'm glad some of you like the dragon. But feel free to cringe. It doesn't matter. If you cringe, or if it's unbearable to watch, you know, just skip to the fucking video. Skip the intro. Whatever, you know. I'm gonna keep doing it. People, today is a request your song stream. You can request if you want to listen to a song from a video game. If it has like dangerous copyright, I'll let you know. Like Persona music, I can't play anything from Persona. But let me know if you want to listen to something, okay? You don't have to do a super chat or anything. Anyway, so that's the story with the Dragon B-Man. Which will release first, Shin Megami Tensei 6 or Persona 6? Probably Persona 6. Thoughts on Bravely Default. I've covered that game several times. Maybe one day I'll do a full review. Maybe when the remaster comes out. I don't know. I'm not a big fan, you know. The game is okay. It has a lot of problems. Lots of ups and downs. I don't think I can recommend it though, but I don't think it's a bad game. The publisher of the remake of Trails in the Sky remake said the localization, they honor the original Japanese text. We'll see about that. See if that's true. You like Octopath Traveler 2 opening theme? I can't do opening themes or like main menu themes, you know. Those usually have copyright, like Chrono Cross, for example. That's one of my favorite main menu themes. That's my favorite main menu theme of all time. Probably next to Guilty Gear Judgment. Like, I don't like Guilty Gear anymore, but the music is untouchable, you know. Guilty Gear Judgment, the main menu theme is like, fuck, wow. I use it as the intro song for my private podcast on Patreon. It's called Eric Landon Uncensored, and you can listen to it for free. Well, for free. If you join my Patreon for $5 a month, you can listen to my completely unhinged. Nah, it isn't unhinged. My completely uncensored and unscripted podcast, and I talk about a lot of topics that I don't talk here on YouTube. But my number one favorite main menu theme of all time, it's Garden of Gods. Garden of the Gods from Chrono Cross. I can't play it because fucking copyright. Just like Octopath Traveler 1 and 2. What's my favorite Fire Emblem character? Come on, man. You know I'm a diehard. I've played them all. Every single one of them. And there's like, you're asking me to choose between like 400 characters. Maybe I can tell you by game, you know. You're gonna have to be more specific. There's just a lot. I don't think I can make a top 10 favorite Fire Emblem characters. I can make like one per game, maybe. That'll be an interesting video. You thought Virtual Highlight was a masterpiece? You're damn right it is. 5 means masterpiece in my blog. It's backwards, in case you guys didn't know. My blog scores are backwards. You know? The lowest score, that's a masterpiece. Time and Eternity, Draken, Tracia, Virtual Highlight, Lunar, Dragon Song, Arcana. You know, those games are the real masterpieces. Anything with 6 and above, that's fucking garbage. Is the girl figure's voice in a recent video also your voice? No, that's just AI. Now that you've finished Skies of Arcadia, is there a possibility that Final Fantasy Tactics is going to be the next denied unfinished old game to be finished? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, not a bad idea. Because I'm not interested. I mean, probably Square Enix is going to remake or remaster the game, but they're going to censor the fuck out of it. So I'm not interested. So I'm going to stick with the original, obviously. Yeah, not a bad idea. I will probably play the PSP version. Romantic Vagrant from Bravely Default. Wait, what? You mean Love's Vagrant? The Vagrant of Love? This has lyrics and copy. This is wait. I can't play the singing version because it has copyright. So how about I play this? Yeah, this is alright. I hope that was what you're looking for. You know, I can't play the singing version of it. We should bring the dragon as a guest in the Q&A. Hey, I'm happy to know that some of you like the fucking dragon. Let me get it. Right now. Wait a second. Okay, I'm back. So here's the little fucker. Oh, that was the song? Great. Here you go. Fuck this guy, right? It's just an action figure, you know, random. It belongs to no game or anything. She got it in one of those machines, you know. You put a coin in there, and they come in like spheres and bubbles, you know. And that's it. I don't think it has like, and it can be torn apart, you know. Damn! Just took his leg. Maybe I'll tear it apart. I'm gonna tear you to pieces if you keep interrupting my fucking reviews, you motherfucker. I'll leave him here. There you go. Gotcha? My friend called him Draki. So, how about Draki? Draki? Look at him! Draki! And he's gonna be pissed off, you know, next time. He's gonna be like, why are you calling me Draki? That's a terrible fucking name. Fuck you, Eric. Give me a real dragon badass name, not Draki. That's a cute name, so I'm gonna call him Draki to piss him off. When I ran it through, Gemini came up with a strategy RPG inspired by Terra Gaiden called The Science of Ethel. The Science of Ethel? Really? So you asked Google Gemini what books... What? That's great. So this guy asked Google Gemini to come up with a strategy RPG inspired by any of my books. And the AI chose Terra Gaiden, and the name of the game will be The Science of Ethel. That's fucking crazy. Why would it change the name, though? If I ever made a strategy RPG based on Terra Gaiden, I will fucking call it Terra Gaiden, you know? So people could be asking all day long, is it related to Ninja Gaiden? Is it influenced by Ninja Gaiden? In my Q&As. Okay, yeah, Dunsk, Riviera the Promised Land, music acceptable. What do you want me to play? JRPG Queen, what's up? Wow. Rare to see you here. Have you seen any good horror movies lately? No. I watched... No, this isn't a horror movie. I watched like a show. It's kind of horror themed. It's Korean, from South Korea. It came out like a year ago. It's about a detective that goes undercover to a hotel, to an expensive, far away hotel to meet with a prostitute, but he's actually investigating the like a hooker ring and a scam ring in there. And then a fucking huge earthquake destroys the entire hotel, and the survivors have to escape. You know, so there are no monsters or spirits or demons or anything, you know, but it's pretty horrific what happens in there. So it's a show, it's not a movie, but that was pretty cool, you know. I don't really watch horror movies because, I'll be honest, no offense to anybody, but I always cringe. It's hard to find a good horror movie. The large majority of them are like pretty cringe, you know. I end up laughing instead of being scared. I'm like, this is fucking pathetic, you know. I remember watching some Mexican independent films last year, which were great. I don't think you're going to be able to find them in your country, so not worth mentioning them. But yeah. So Dunsk wanted something from... That person should be banished, Donsk. That isn't even real music, that's just horrible noise. Well, while you decide which song from Riviera you want to listen, I'll play Battle Cat's Battle Theme Moon. What the hell is that, man? Battle Cats? Battle Theme Moon? Battle Cats is a video game? What's this? It's a phone game. And it has a lot of views. Is this a beat 'em up? Well, let's listen to the song. It's pretty short. That's the one, right? What's this, man? It's a tower defense. Okay. This looks interesting. It looks stupid as fuck, man. And I like that. I'm normally on your other account. What's your other account? You preferred calling the dragons as Nini, as inspired by Eric's favorite t-shirt he's wearing, Nini? 9 Inch Nails? This is a band, man. Draggy. Yeah, but Draggy... No, I wouldn't call it Draggy. You know, Dracky. Let's baptize this motherfucker as Dracky. The recent Lunar Remastered collection got censored. Oh, why am I not surprised? But some are saying it's meant to be more faithful to the Japanese script. Well, it's gonna be hard to prove because Working Designs did the original localization and it's trash. Like everything Working Designs did, you know. They were never faithful to the original Japanese script. Never. Working Designs, never. You know? So, it's gonna be hard to prove, you know, if it's censored or not. I'll look into it later, you know. I'm into that shit, you know that already. Sinners last night? Sinners? No, it's not the same I'm thinking of. One of my favorite horror movies is called Martyrs. Not Sinners, Martyrs. I think it's a French movie. Super hardcore, super scary. And very uncomfortable to watch, you know. Martyrs. Martyrs. When's my birthday? October. Your thoughts on Angry Video Game Nerd? I'm still a fan, you know. I stopped watching his Let's Plays with John. John... Okay, he's not Mike, you know, or Bootsy or Ryan, you know, who were some of the best co-hosts. But at least he's not like Justin, you know, or Kieran or Tony, you know. He's like in the middle, like he's okay. I used to watch most of them when he was doing them. He started doing them like a couple of years ago. But nowadays I haven't watched them because I just don't think, nothing against John, but I don't think he's a good co-host or a good YouTuber or a, you know, camera personality, you know. It's just, he's okay, you know. But I still watch the AVGN episodes faithfully. I never miss one, never. The last one with Gex, the Gex trilogy was, it was like meh, you know. The games aren't that bad, you know, their games are okay, they have their problems, you know, but they aren't that bad. So, I don't think it was a good idea to make a video based on that trilogy because it's honestly not bad. It's not abysmal, you know. But it was okay. I still watched the video. So I'm still a fan. I mean, you asked me about the Angry Video Game Nerd, right? The persona, the character, not James Rolfe. That's another story. Terrifier 1. Any other songs? Okay. You request the song Croc, The Legend of the Gobos. Oh, yeah, that got a remake recently, right? The Legend of the Gobos. What's the name of the song? Underwater 1. There you go. Pretty cool. Ice Reach of Noltia from East 2. I have that. That's gonna be next. Working Designs is your favorite. Everything they sold came with something extra quality items as well. Okay. Working Designs. When it came to localizing games, the physical media, yes, they were fucking awesome. I'm also a big fan. But when it came to translating the games, they were fucking trash. They altered everything, man, and they inserted a lot of stupid American jokes that made no sense. You know, so as a localization team bringing over physical games in the past, I respect them. But as translators, I think they're fucking imbeciles. I'm glad they went bankrupt, and I'm not sorry to say that. John and James have no chemistry. I find them hard to watch. Well, I think they have chemistry as friends because they grew up together and they've been friends since they were little. You know, but yeah, it's like they don't have chemistry on camera. A lot of people are like that, you know. On real life, they have a lot of chemistry, but when they're on camera together, knowing they're being filmed, they don't have a lot of chemistry, right? So, yeah, I agree with that. John and James have no chemistry on camera, you know, I agree. I also find them kind of hard to watch, but John's laughter is the best. The way he laughs, his laughter, oh my god. Sometimes, back in the day, I used to watch him just because of that, because I was patiently waiting for John to laugh, and that fucking laughter is so cringe, man. I can't even imitate it. It's amazing. Did you play Arno Surge? Yes, Arno Surge is connected to Art on Helico. It's the prequel to Art on Helico. In fact, no spoilers, but the ending of Arno Surge pretty much leads to the events of Art on Helico on PS2. I've played all the art games except Shield No Search, which is the visual novel on PS Vita. Never left Japan. It's fan translated. But it's a dating sim, strictly a dating sim. I'm not sure I'll be able to get into it because I'm at the age where I'd rather date a real girl in real life. Ah, man. Wait, I got some more songs. So that was Croc. So, Ice Reach of Nolchia. Right? I think I have that. There we go. This is the PC Engine version. I think I used this song recently on something. I don't remember what though. How will writers kill off a character in a JRPG without pissing off the player? It needs to be extremely justified and highly emotional, you know, impactful, like it needed to happen for something better or positive to happen, maybe. That's how I will do it, maybe, in a JRPG. Because in my books, I know, I probably pissed off a lot of people with the Revenant army. I know that. Maybe people hate that book because of what I did. Yeah, I know. I couldn't resist. I'm cruel in my books, with my characters. I'm fucking cruel. What do you think of women making more money than men nowadays? Women are making more money? I didn't know that. Is Fantasy Life an RPG? Sure, yes it is. It's open world simulator, but but it's an RPG too. Fucking chat keeps crashing, man. What the fuck, YouTube? And if you complain to YouTube, they're always like, oh, it's your browser. Clear your cookies. You prefer working designs over the shitty, nonsensical translation of games like Breath of Fire, Castlevania, and others? Well, I'll give you this. I prefer working designs to the shitty localization of Atlus, 505 games, or NIS America nowadays. Trust me, I hate working designs translations, but I have way more respect for their translations than NIS America translations. Modern NIS America translations. Do you stream on Twitch at 4 p.m.? Oh yeah, I stream it on Twitch at 4 or 5 p.m. Yeah, it's probably pretty early for you. So Donsk wanted the... what was the name of the song? Riviera, the Promised Land, decisive battle against Hector. Against Hector, huh? This is the arranged version. Wait. Where's the original? There you go. Here it is. I found it on YouTube. Anyway. Any plans to buy that Dead or Alive game on the PS5? It's gonna be censored, right? So probably not. I don't have a single Dead or Alive game in my collection. You like my chemistry with Oscar? Yeah. I think that's why the channel got It's a small fan base because we do have a lot of chemistry together on camera. Yeah. I believe that you two are more crude and funny off camera. No, we're the same. I'm the same no matter where you see me, man. The very few fans who have met me on real life say the same thing about me. That I'm the same guy you see on camera. In Spanish or English. On writing, though, I'm very different. A lot of my fans who have chatted with me in the past when I had a Discord or in the private chat on Discord, on Patreon, I can tell that I'm very different, right? Like I sound like very serious and angry or angrier, or I don't know, because I write with perfect grammar, of course. Is level 5 still around? Yes. Steam or emulators? Emulators forever. What's not censored? You wish your guitar skills were good enough for that one? Me too. Sunshine Coastline, that's so hard to play on the guitar. I tried learning it once, I failed miserably. I'm a rhythm guy. I know some solos on the guitar with some bands, you know, but most of the stuff that I play is rhythm stuff. Especially power chords, you know, that's what I'm into. And that's why I can't play anything from Is, you know, it's so hard. I can play some Shin Megami Tensei songs. So, C, bottom C, Sonic Lost World. Okay, then here you go. Sonic Lost World. There you go, man. What's the funniest JRPG you know? Probably the original Fairy Fencer F. It's one of the funniest. Rhapsody, a musical adventure, especially the first one. It's kind of funny. It's just it's a super dumb game. Gicandia, the Timeless Land on the PSP. Nobody knows that game, but it's a really funny game. I like the humor a lot. Those are some of the funniest, you know. How long does it take you to write a book? It depends. You know, it can take months. Never years, though. The Reaper's Thorn took me over a year, but because I finished the book in like 6 months, and then I kind of left it there for a while, and then I came back to it and put like a couple of extra weeks, you know, so it depends on the length of the book. It just depends, man, you know, but it's usually months, couple months minimum, you know. I haven't written a book in forever. I'm not gonna force myself to write a book. I need it to come to me, and it's been coming to me for a while, since last year, you know. There's this story that's been building in my head, you know, but I just don't have the right motivation or, you know, the passion. I need it to come back to me. It's slowly coming back to me, but maybe one day. You like listening to me and Oscar? Do you know Spanish? Or do you just like listening to us, even if you don't understand anything? You're buying a working design. Which action RPG does have a good party AI? A lot of them. Some of the wait a second. The Is games. It's decent, let's leave it at that. They have problems. Some of the Tales games, you know. Most of the Tales games actually have a pretty good party AI. Like, I beat Tales of Berseria live last year, and I remember my party being like really useful when I was getting my ass kicked, and I was trying to run away to get healed, and they kept the enemies pretty busy, so... I haven't played other Tales games in a long time, you know, but Berseria, I beat it last year for the second time. The first time was like 5 or 6 years ago. So this was my second time playing it, and I beat it on normal, live, and my party AI was like really, really good. I remember Party AI in Arise wasn't as good as the one in Berseria though, but it was still good. Dead or Alive Venus Vacation is not censored. I don't believe you. It's gonna be released on PlayStation 5 and they're not censoring it. I find it extremely hard to believe. Does a JRPG without waifus exist? There's been some with barely or no fan service, like Tales of Fantasia, for example. Like, there's barely any fan service in there or nothing. Redemption Reapers, you know, but the girls are still pretty good looking, so probably the answer will be no to that question. Will you ever play for us sometime? Oh, you haven't seen me playing the guitar? I don't do it often, you know, but I have played my guitar in some streams in the past. Are there any game franchises you would like to play music for? I would like to make a soundtrack for my own game. Thousand Arms has some funny moments. Oh yeah, that's also a really funny game, Thousand Arms. Tears to Tiara. Well, Tears to Tiara is more serious. The story is like a serious drama. But it has its moments. Just remember, guys, there's only one Fairy Fencer game. There's no such thing as a second game, okay? That doesn't exist. Just the first one. Oh, Yakuza Like a Dragon. Not just Like a Dragon, man. All the Yakuza series have a lot of funny moments. I don't know either if it helps you, if it helps my channel, Anthony. Good question. It helps if you watch them on YouTube. You know, obviously because of the views. But when a stream is over on Twitch, I don't know if it helps me if people watch the streams after they're over. You know, I don't know. Good question. Did you ever finish Monarch? No way. I never will. I want to bitch about that game soon again. Maybe I'll review Monarch soon. It needs its own review, so I can bitch about it again. You would like to buy my books soon. They're all available on Amazon, physical and digital. Digital are like $3 worldwide. Apparently that's the cheapest price I can offer, because if I try to sell them for $2, Amazon won't let me. I don't understand why. But my physical prices vary depending on your region. I think you live in Canada, right? So it's gonna be like a little bit more, I don't know. But you should find them on Amazon. You know Spanish? Okay. Your Spanish is so-so, so maybe you'll be able to understand some of this dumb shit we talk about in Discussion Gamer. What JRPG will you say is best play on Easter? What kind of question is that, man? I don't know. Whatever you want. Wow, I'm so behind some of your requests. Sunshine Coastline? Okay. The most overplayed song of all time, Sunshine Coastline. From Is 8. There you go. Why am I losing people? I have like 93 watching and now I have 70? What the hell? What did I say to piss people off this time? Did you like Oblivion when it came out? I'm not a fan of the Elder Scrolls and I don't give a shit about the entire franchise. What is to you the coolest story in Fire Emblem? Path of Radiance and Thracia was pretty cool, the story. Pretty damn good. That was the best thing of Thracia, the music and the story, because the gameplay and the difficulty ruined the game, but the story was pretty cool. Damn, Three Houses also has a really solid plot. If I had to choose one winner, though, it will probably be Path of Radiance. What is the golden age of me playing video games? Probably when I was a little kid. No, probably when I started getting into RPGs when I was like 20, 20 years old. That's when I started getting more and more often to RPGs, and I used to play a lot because I didn't have a job. And I used to go to school for like 2 hours a day. It was one of those schools, school Yeah, that was probably my golden age. If you were an amazing artist, would you create your own comic series? Yes, I would. But I suck at drawing characters. The Sony of America president Bernie Stoller had a hatred towards 2D and JRPGs. Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised, Kevin? The Odyssea Forsaken from Death and Request. Alright, that's gonna be next. It is Dawn's Trails into Reverie, yeah. The story is not the best part about Reverie. It's still good though, but Miss America destroyed it. They didn't politicize it that much, you know. I mean, it's a huge gap between Reverie and Daybreak. Daybreak is fucking trash. But Reverie, yeah. The last good Trails game. Are Castlevania Symphony of the Night soundtracks copyrighted? If not, I request the Tragic Prince. I don't think they are. I'll play that after the Odyssea Forsaken. How do you feel about Dragon's Dogma? Dragon's Dogma? I played the first one many years ago. It was alright. Never really gave it a proper chance. Maybe one day. Thracia's story was so dark. Yeah, it is. I think Fire Emblem Thracia is one of the best Fire Emblem stories. I'm almost tempted to say that's the best Fire Emblem story over Path of Radiance, but Path of Radiance is always gonna have a special place in my heart. My Xenosaga trilogy question or comment. There you go, every stream. Have you played any Western RPGs? Yes, I have. Old ones, you know, not anything modern. The last modern that I played and finished and loved was The Witcher 3. But that's it, man. I'm not really a fan of Western RPGs. They're so politicized, super politicized, especially nowadays. But I like Dragon Age Origins, Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. That's a good one. Might and Magic Clash of Heroes is my favorite on the Nintendo DS. It's also on PS3 and 360. Don't play the remake on modern consoles. It's bad. You know, the art style is ugly and it's censored. Stick to the original versions. Those are some of my favorites. Do you think modern game developers are too obsessed with making games ultra photorealistic? Yes. Most of the AAA studios are. On a scale of Trails Through Daybreak, on a scale from 1 to 10 how woke it is, the translation, 10 out of 10. Unfortunately, it's fucking trash. The game itself, I don't know, maybe 5? 6 maybe, I don't know, 5 maybe? It's Miss America, man. The translation is just fucking horrendous. You wanna switch JRPG tier list? That's not happening, man, I'm sorry. Never. The Switch has over 200 JRPGs already. 200! Imagine, that will have to be like a 2-hour long video. And I don't play a lot of modern new games, you know, so never happening, man. Sorry to disappoint. Nintendo DS tier list, that's probably happening this year. I'm working on it. Could you play a Shantae song of your choice? Sure. The servers of PS3 Online are still up? Wow. What do you think of Is 10 compared to 7, 8, and 9? It's not as good as them. You know, I made a review of Is 10. It's in the same video where I reviewed Xenoblade Chronicles X. Didn't get a lot of views. I'm not surprised. Most people don't know about that video. I'll try to upload the review separately this year. You know, Xenoblade Chronicles and Is 10. But just real quickly, 8 and 9 are much better. So, Dead End Request, what was the name of the song? Odyssea Forsaken. Okay, from Dead End Request. Odyssea Forsaken. Event request. I think I'm going to review that game, you know. There's a spin-off coming up soon next month, May 13, I believe. I may get a review code, I don't know yet. But I'll probably review the original game. I reviewed the second game a couple of years ago. It's my most successful review. Death and Request 2. I'll try to review the first one soon. Blue Destination? From what game? What do you think of Nintendo using game key cards for third-party games on the Switch 2? Lame. That's super lame. What is the best beginner strategy RPG for a kid, 7-year-old? Hesitating between Shining Force, Game Boy Advance, Fire Emblem 7, Super Robot Wars, Original Generation, MMBN 5? Which one's that? What's MMB5, man? What's that? Anyway, not Fire Emblem 7, man. It has some mature themes. Mature enough for a 7-year-old. Super Robot Wars has a lot of fan service too, so up to you. And also has a lot of political themes and a lot of story. The problem with Super Robot Wars is that it has a lot of story. It might bore your kid, man. Shining Force is a great choice. Not that much story. The story's fine. Some dark and mature themes here and there, but nothing a kid can't handle, you know. I will go with Shining Force, but please, what the hell is MMBN 5, man? Fuck is Mega Man Battle Network 5. That's not a strategy RPG, man. That's just an action weird hybrid, you know. Shining Force is a great choice, dude, for a 7-year-old. Alright, somebody wanted something from Symphony of the Night, right? Like Tragic Prince. Ryan wanted that song. The Tragic Prince. Symphony of the Night. Alright, there we go. Is the Star Ocean music copyrighted? No, you can request anything from Star Ocean, man. Blue Destination from Cold Steel 2. Okay, you got it. The last boss of Stella Deus felt like a filler, kinda made me sad, wish the fights... Okay, that's a spoiler, man. I'm not answering that. Don't spoil the final battle, man, of games. Magic Knight Rayearth, the fiasco of that game may have contributed to the bankruptcy of Working Designs, but I don't think it was that alone, you know. Lots of reasons contributed on the fall of Working Designs. I think it's mostly because most of the games they localized were commercial failures in the West. They never really made any real money, you know, never really made money. Dead End Request Z is gonna be a roguelike, kind of like Izuna. I'm pretty sure you guys watched my top 10. My previous tops, you know, I covered Izuna, The Unemployed Ninja 1 and 2 on the Nintendo DS. It's gonna be like that. Like, you move on grids, and then you move, the enemy moves, you hit, the enemy hits you, you grab weapons, you know, that you find, you die, and you go back to town, all items lost. Dead End Request Z is gonna be like that. I wasn't a fan of that genre until 1 year ago, you know, so I'm not sad that it's gonna be like that. I wish it could have been turn-based, but I'm pretty sure they're working on Dead End Request 3 at this moment, so that's gonna be turn-based, hopefully, but this is just a spin-off. Thank you, Yum Yum. What do you think about companies that are now leaning towards digital media? Are you still gonna buy a game digitally without a physical release? You know my policy and my mentality when it comes to digital games. I never buy them unless they're like $5 or $10 if it's digital only and I really want to play it or I need it for a review or something. That's how I feel. And about companies heading to digital media, sadly it's inevitable. We've seen this coming for years. I'm surprised we're still getting physical games, you know. I can almost guarantee the PlayStation 6 when it comes out, it's probably gonna be digital only. So will the next Xbox console. I hope I'm wrong. You know, I'm a physical collector like you, but I kind of gave up collecting last year because I have financial issues. My channel revenue went down. As you may already know, I have a big mouth and I pissed off YouTube for the last time and they destroyed me. So, and I bought a house several years ago, so I'm fucking mortgage. But once my economy stabilizes, I will go back to video game collecting, you know. So I'm like you, Yum Yum, you know that. We're both video game collectors, you know. I don't like it when things go digital or when games don't have a physical release. Like Fuga Melodies of Steel 1 and 2 finally are getting a physical release in the form of a trilogy after so many years. But I always resented that the first two games never had a physical release. But it's inevitable, man. It will happen. Nothing we can do about it. Is Death Stranding an RPG? I have no idea. I've never played it. What was your favorite book to write? I'm between two, which also happen to be my best ones in my opinion. The first one is Nick's Inferno, probably because I was really influenced by the music of Hocico, which is a Mexican band, and also influenced by David Lynch movies. But also because the main reason why I loved writing that book, it was because I just fell in love with the characters, and I just took a lot of hatred and negativity I had in my heart out and put it in the book. You know, my hatred towards government and society in general, you know. It was really fun writing that book. It was therapeutic. But then there's The Reaper's Thorn, which in a sense was a pain in the ass because there was a lot of research. It's a book that mixes fantasy and fiction with historical facts, you know, because it takes place in the 19th century. So it was a lot of research. So the research was half a pain in the ass, half really fun and interesting. But also I loved writing it because I also... I think I put a lot of my philosophy and my way of thinking from back then into words. You know, a lot of things that happen in the book are part of my views, my world views, you know. So those two are my favorite books that I've written, and I consider them as my two best books of all time, you know. Anyway, what was the last song somebody asked something? Somebody asked about Shantae. I think Shantae, all the music has copyright. Blue Destination from Cold Steel, okay. Blue Destination, there we go. 2.7 million views, wow. That song has 2.7 million views. Yeah, the Trail series are maybe not as popular as Persona or Final Fantasy, but they're fucking popular nowadays. I didn't know you got a house. Well... It's not 100% mine, you know, it's fucking Banks, you know Banks. It's almost impossible to be a Mexican and live in Mexico and buy a house, like, immediately, without a bank involved. It's almost impossible. I know you're gonna be there like, oh, it's the same in Canada. No. First world countries, a lot of people have enough money to buy a house without having a mortgage, you know, from a bank. And in Mexico, it's almost impossible. So I owe a lot of money to the bank. Yeah, people, I don't make a lot of money on YouTube. Contrary to what most of you will believe. Especially nowadays. Have you listened to Metaliachi? No, I don't know what that is. It sounds like metal with mariachi, man. That's fucking horrible. Have you ever played the fan-made Final Fantasy IX remake with voiceovers? Nope. Never even knew about it. Which to play first, Suikoden Remaster or Luna Remaster? Suikoden Remasters, I can vouch for those. Watch my review. But you shouldn't buy them, emulate them, steal them! Don't give money to Konami. Watch my reviews, Disney fan. I reviewed Suikoden. I think a lot of people missed the review because I don't know. What happened to the Grandia series? I made that video like 6 years ago. It's called What the Hell Happened to Grandia. Actually, that was my first video on that series. That was the first video of that series. What the hell happened to Grandia? That was my first video. Thanks again, Yum Yum. I don't like the idea of having 2 or 3 discs for a game. I want it all in one disc. Do you think companies ditching the physical media because of this? No, I don't think so. When was the last time you saw a game released with more than 1 disc? Ever since the PlayStation 3 era? Some Xbox 360 games still have several discs, you know, but PlayStation 3 games, the entire game was in 1 disc. What are you talking about? I don't like it either, though. But I'm okay. Mortgage is like a 20-year-old slave contract. That's right. The truth right there by Pikmin. Okay, thank you, JRPG Queen. I'm happy too. Not having to pay rent anymore. Do you enjoy ROM hacks? Sam, I'm a die-hard Fire Emblem ROM hack guy. Die-hard. In fact, I've been playing. I did have a live stream of Fire Emblem ROM hacks 2 days ago on my Twitch channel. Link to my Twitch channel in the description, by the way. I stream Tuesdays and Fridays. And I'm playing one Fire Emblem ROM hack called Vision Quest. And I'm loving it. I'm like 10 hours into it. But to be completely honest, man, those are the only hacks that I've played. Fire Emblem hacks. I've played a crap ton of them, but I don't play any other hacks. I've never played any other game ROM hacks, you know. Maybe I'll get into some in the future. Has anyone ever asked you to edit a story for them? No, probably because English isn't my first language. Oh, you have a mortgage too, 17 years. Well, me is like 10 years. Do you consider yourself old enough to use the phrase back in my day? I've been using that phrase for years, so yes. You missed the What the Hell Happened videos? Well, there aren't any more series to cover. Maybe I could cover Vandal Hearts, Art Tonelico. I never covered those, but those I feel like are really obscure and not a lot of people will be interested. I think I've covered... The reason why the series died is because I covered all of the series that most people will be interested in finding out what the hell happened to. Like Shining, Chrono, White Knight Chronicles, you know, if anybody ever cared about that. So, I don't think the series will come back. Probably not. Final Fantasy VII Remake and Dead End Redemption 2 on PS4 came with 2 discs. Data disc and game disc. Oh, you're right. I have Final Fantasy VII Remake and it has 2 discs. You're right about that. That was a rare exception. Ooh, let's go back to... I have a huge... Well, the last song. Did you ever finish the full story of Is Origin? No. Just 2 characters. I never beat the extra character. So Blue Destination, right? So... Fuck. Langrisser isn't a game for a 7-year-old kid, man. Can I play a song from Till the End of Time? So Star Ocean Till the End of Time, right? How about this one? The regular battle theme, you know, cutting edge of an ocean. All right, so how about the Yakuza series? What's the question? Vision Quest is nice. Yeah, you should try Advance Wars Returns. I don't like Advance Wars. No story. Barely any dialogue. And generic units I don't care about, so... What the hell happened to Sakura Wars? I was just thinking about that yesterday, you know. So yeah, there's still a lot of JRPG franchise that are dead. But they're like really obscure, and I don't think a lot of people will watch the videos, you know. Do you have a lot of video topics written down? Some of them, yeah. I never mention them because other JRPG channels rip me off and steal them, the ideas. Well, they end up stealing them anyway after I post them. Imagine if I went out of business. Imagine if all of a sudden I stopped doing videos. All of these guys, what will they do? What will all of those JRPG channels do? They will have to come up with their own ideas. Ooh, that will be hard, very hard. What the hell happened to my What the Hell Happened videos? Have you failed to introduce family friends to JRPGs? Yeah. Yeah, I have failed. My siblings, for example, never really got into them. My sister and I finished Final Fantasy IX, but she's not really a gamer, and whenever she lives in England, so whenever she comes over, we only played like Crash Bash, you know, Superstar Soccer, beat 'em ups, you know, stuff like that. Not really RPGs. My brother and I tried also to play Final Fantasy IX together. He got bored. He played and beat Super Mario RPG many years ago. But that was it, you know. He never really got into RPGs. They just don't have the patience. And friends, well... I don't really have a lot of friends. I only have like 2 or 3 friends. And 2 of them, when I met them, they were already fans. My friend Oscar, though, when I met him, he disliked RPGs. And now he has more appreciation. He's beaten some. But he's still not a big fan. So I feel like I failed. What went wrong? I don't know. Probably because it's a very niche genre. Even though it's very popular nowadays, I think it's still very niche. Nice America went to hell like 2 years ago. Do you play the Yakuza series? Yes, I do, Ken. I'm a huge fan. I've beaten Yakuza 1, Kiwami, Yakuza 0, and the turn-based RPGs, like a Dragon and Infinite Wealth. Huge fan. Mortal Kombat from Star Ocean 5. They have a song called Mortal Kombat. They do. Holy shit. Did you play the Sega Saturn Sakura Wars translation? No, I haven't. I know it's there. Maybe I'll stream it on Twitch one of these days. That will be fun. The best what? The best JRPG from 3DS versus PS Vita? What? I'm not sure I understand your question. What are you trying to ask exactly? I know Golden Sun. Ken, who the hell do you think you're talking to? I played everything. It's easier to ask me about indie RPGs or Western RPGs that I haven't played. There's a lot of them that I don't know. With JRPGs, it's almost impossible. There's some exceptions, you know. But I've played all of them. Well, I know all of them. Of course, I know Golden Sun. You got into RPGs because of a girl? That's great, Yum Yum. Share your story. How did she get in? And why the sad face? Is it a sad story? Now I want to know. A girl got you into RPGs and you put 4 sad faces? Now I want to know. Your ex-girlfriend? Oh boy. Have you heard of an RPG, Arafel? I think so. I think I've heard about it, but I haven't played it. If it's by the same developer of Rise of the Third Power, I'm not interested. Those guys are super woke. Yes, yes, and yes. Oh, sorry. Long story. Okay, gotcha. How big are JRPGs in Mexico? Any cultural affinity between Mexican and Japanese culture? Barely anything, but there's a huge anime fan base in Mexico. Huge! Super huge, you know? But JRPGs, most people just know the popular ones. Persona, Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Fire Emblem. That's it, you know? Maybe they know others on the that are like slightly on the surface, but not really. JRPG scene in Mexico isn't that big. Is Goat Simulator a good game? It's very good if you just want to play a game to waste time for a bit, you know? I love it. I mean, you can't beat it, though. It's just a game to waste time and have fun and have a few laughs. It's a very funny game, you know? I like the game a lot. Yakuza 0 is great, but a director's cut after how many years is weird. Oh, the Switch version? I don't really care about it. I'm happy with the PS4 version. Do you think the price of JRPGs are going to hit $80 on Switch too? Some of them, yes. Others will still retain $60 to $70. But I'm pretty sure we'll see a lot of JRPGs on the $80 range. Especially AAAs. What JRPGs do you want to remove? Or wish should never have been created? Final Fantasy X-2, Tokyo Mirage Sessions, Time and Eternity, Fairy Fencer 2. Do you have any info on the new Wild Arms games and Dragon Quest 12? Wait, when you ask the new Wild Arms game, do you mean Armed Fantasia? The one that's still on Kickstarter? We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I should have turned that into a clip. Didn't we talk about this last week? And I looked it up, and apparently they're still looking for... I mean, they had some issues, you know. They were delayed. They announced last month, on February, they announced that the games have been delayed. And that's all we know so far. Dragon Quest 12, I have no idea, and I honestly don't give a shit about it. Akira Toriyama is dead. Koichi Sugiyama is dead. The director of the series just quit the company. All we got is Yuji Horii. Not enough to get me interested in Dragon Quest. I don't care about the franchise anymore. It's dead to me. Do you ever wish Square Enix will redevelop Final Fantasy 13 Versus? Didn't that happen in the form of Final Fantasy 15? There is also a big anime culture in Arabic countries. Wow, really? I didn't know that. They were cheap and exported en masse. Oh, every other Algerian man on the internet has a Dragon Ball Z profile picture. Dragon Ball Z is also huge in Mexico. I didn't know that, man, that anime was huge in Arabic countries. That's interesting. Sorry to hear that, Yum Yum, but at least something positive came out of it, right? You're a big fan of the genre now, and you're a video game collector, and now there's a lot of JRPGs you've enjoyed in the past, you know, and they meant something to you, so something positive came out of it. Did you play Arno Search? I didn't play it on the PS Vita. No, I did play it on the PS Vita just for a little bit, but I played it and finished it on the PlayStation 3. So what other songs were there? Sorry guys, I'm so behind some of the songs. Somebody wanted the... Oh no, the Star Ocean song was the last one, right? Anybody else? If I didn't play your song, feel free to post it again. Yeah, I don't think there's more songs. Okay. Yeah, okay, so any other song, it's a request your song stream. If you want to listen to a song from a video game, let me know and I'll play it. You got Master Detective Archives Raincoat on sale. Is it any good? I haven't played it. Apex of the World, Fire Emblem Three Houses. You mean the rain version? It's probably that, right? Rain? Is it the rain version? Either version is fine. Oh, okay. So I'll just play this. The apex of the world. Alright, so hello Kramer. What was the last great JRPG you ever played? I just made a review of that a couple of days ago. I like your intro song in your videos. What is the song title? Oh, the old intro from the legendary Sultan. You can find it on Rumble. It doesn't have a name, it's just the Eric Landon RPG intro theme, you know. Composed by the legendary Sultan. You can find just the song on Rumble. To me, Suikoden is better than Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger, and Xenoblade, man. It's my favorite JRPG series of all time. You have watched the Fire Emblem Hacks video. The third game story is kinda dark and the main character is a sexy blondie girl. That's the one I'm playing right now. It's Vision Quest, but she's not the main character. The main character was the other guy. She seemed like the main character, but no, she's not. And she's a mom. She has a daughter. Yeah, I'm playing that right now. It is kinda dark. Not that dark though, but kinda dark. Sultan is not on YouTube? Yeah, he has a channel. It's called Turn-Based Memories. Sultan is on... He's a YouTuber too. His channel is called Turn-Based Memories. How about Thinking of You from Grow Lancer Generations? Okay, that's gonna be next. Did you play that JRPG Neo Fantasian already? Nope. Oh, Thinking of You is from Heritage of War. Actually, the real Japanese name of Heritage of War is Grow Lancer Generations. But the Atlus couldn't call it that because Working Designs localized 2 and 3 together as Generations, so it will confuse people. But the real name of Grow Lancer 5 is Grow Lancer Generations in Japan. They just changed it to Heritage of War here in North America. Funny piece of trivia. You're trying to use JRPGs to learn Japanese. That's pretty cool and admirable. I can't bring myself to learn Japanese, I'm too lazy. And I should, you know, to avoid all of those shitty localizations, but I'm just too lazy, man. Is there a JRPG you play only for the gameplay, not for the story? Yeah. I put a lot of hours into Tokyo Xanadu, even though the story wasn't that great, that interesting. It was kind of like meh. Yeah, I play a lot of JRPGs for the gameplay, not for the story. But if the story's really bad, for some reason I can't take it. Like Final Fantasy X-2, the gameplay was fine, but the story was so bad, it was just unbearable, you know? The same probably can be said about Tokyo Mirage Sessions, you know? Good gameplay, you know, it's just the story's fucking horrible, you know? I couldn't take it, you know? I couldn't take it. Nah, I don't care about Oblivion or anything new, man. You're new to this channel, huh? Thank God you're not paying child support for some reason. What's up with that username, man? What do you think of Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis? Never played it. I don't play mobile games. Who did you marry in Unicorn Overlord? Oh. I married the girl, the healer. It seemed canon, you know, so maybe one day I'll marry another girl. Is it worth it, the remake of Front Mission 1 and 2? I've never played the second one, but the remake of the first one is really good. Yes, it is worth it. Atelier Rise, I won't forget, can't regret. That's the name of a song? Okay, that's gonna be next. The World Ends With You. No, I don't agree with that. I didn't like the game, didn't like the battle system, didn't like the story. So, no. But then again, I only played it for like 2 hours. That's why you've barely seen me talking about it. I think I've covered that game like 2 times in my life. Which game are you currently most excited for? None. I don't care about anything upcoming anymore, you know. It's all politicized trash. Alright, so... what was the song? Thinking of You. Thinking of You. Here you go. Oh wait, I have a better quality. It's also called Calm Days. Yeah. It's called Thinking of You, but also known as Calm Days. I have it as Calm Days. Great song. Ever try the Ace Attorney series? Nope, not really, to be honest. Maybe one day. Can you play Presto 2009 arranged from Ace Attorney Investigations next? Sure, I don't think I'm gonna have enough time. I almost have to go. Or your username is supposed to be a reference to a joke in Devil May Cry. The game? Please, I hope it's the game, not the trash Netflix show. I haven't even seen it, you know, but I know it's trash. It's one of those things you know it's trash without having to see it. Like Concord. Or the Tomb Raider show. Would you like to see The Legend of Legaia brought back in some form? No, no thanks. Unless it's brought back by someone who doesn't care about politics. You never made a video on Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. I covered Bowser's Inside Story, which I really enjoyed, in a video called 10 JRPGs that surpassed my expectations, episode 5 or 6. The last one is the most recent one. Maybe one day I'll do a video on that series. Then what old game are you looking forward to playing right now? One is a surprise. Can't talk about it. I'm playing a Vision Quest from Fire Emblem. I think maybe Dragon Force 2. Which is fan translated, you know. I'm really looking forward to playing that, you know. You have no time? No, I gotta go early. I started this stream earlier today because I have to go in a few minutes. So I think the last song is gonna be Atelier Rise, I Won't Forget, Can't Regret. Oh sure, Ryan. A lot. Super excited. I heard the translation of 100 Line was fucking garbage, so I'm not getting that, man. Atelier Ryza. Won't Forget, Can't Regret. There you go. That's the last song. Do you have a favorite Star Ocean game? Yes, the second one, especially the remake. That came out like 2 years ago. Fantastic. I will say that was the last good remake ever. I'm not Spanish hyperlinguist, I'm Mexican. Well, I don't know, Donsk. I'm not really a fan of the genre. I've never finished a single one. No, I didn't play the Freedom Wars remaster. I don't care for it. It's got Type A, Type B bullshit, you know, so I don't support that. So I didn't play it. That's great, Ken. This is a good song. It doesn't sound like an Atelier song. It's great. I heard a fan-translated group is working on Valhalla Knights 3 Gold Edition. Oh. Yeah, we did get the original version. It was localized by Exit Games, if I'm not mistaken, on the PS Vita. I didn't know there was a fan group working on Gold. Because Gold was never localized because it's raunchier, right? It had like more kinky content, sexy content. The House of Fata Morgana. Do you have a favorite Valkyria Chronicles game? You should watch my worst to best series. I recently released a Xeno series worst to best, and I did Valkyria Chronicles many years ago, Suikoden, Wild Arms, Fire Emblem, Breath of Fire, Star Ocean, actually. Watch all of those. Mexico is also Spanish speaking since Spain colonized it. That was like 500 years ago, but yeah. But I'm not Spanish. I'm Mexican. Atelier Totori is very old. That game came out like 15 years ago. That's old to you? You want to see old? Play the Magnavox Odyssey games. That's old. If you could recommend one JRPG that's not a part of an obvious mainstream franchise, what would it be? Grow Lancer. Obviously, any for Grow Lancer game, man. Grow Lancer 5. Heritage of War. That's my best recommendation. Obviously. How dare you ask me that? I gotta go now, guys. Sorry that I can't stay anymore. And that this was basically an incomplete Q&A. I'll make it up to you next Sunday. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for the super chats. Appreciate it. New video coming tomorrow. Don't miss it. More videos coming. More reviews. More of that motherfucker. Expect that fucking dragon. And maybe more Quistis. If there's enough fan demand. Right. Take care, everybody. Bye.